This movie's side effects begins with a stark, unsettling image. The camera drifts through the silent interior of an apartment, the air heavy with something unspoken. Resting nearby on a chair is a neatly wrapped present, its festive bow sharply out of place. Abruptly, the story shifts back 3 months, pulling us into a brighter, yet still tense reality. Here we meet Emily, the protagonist. Nervous and restless, she waits at a state prison, her posture betraying both excitement and unease. She has come to visit her husband Martin. Their reunion across the prison's sterile table is restrained, filled with the quiet, fragile intimacy of two people forced apart by circumstance. When their brief time is over, Emily says goodbye and leaves, heading to her workplace. She tells her boss she cannot come in the next day. He listens, kindly granting her the leave, understanding her situation. Emily thanks him sincerely, remarking on how difficult life has been. Only then is the first piece of context revealed. Martin is serving time for insider trading, a crime that stripped them of their wealth and status. The following day brings a change. Emily, joined by her mother-in-law, arrives at the prison, her excitement palpable. It is Martin's release day after 4 years of confinement. The reunion is emotional, with tears and smiles mingling in a fragile attempt at joy. They return together to the apartment, which feels both familiar and strange to Martin after so much absence. There, Emily and Martin reconnect physically, their passion driven by a desperate need to recover what was lost between them. Afterward, Martin quickly turns his thoughts to the future. He speaks of a wealthy hedge fund worker he met behind bars, a man soon to be released. His eyes shine with restless ambition, and he assures Emily that prosperity will return. She listens, but her silence and distant gaze hint at deeper unhappiness, something untouched by financial promise. The next morning, Emily drives, her face calm but her destination unknown. A sudden shift occurs, torment overtakes her composure. The expression of serenity cracks, replaced by anguish, and she crashes her car. Though her injuries are minor, the event is revealing. In the hospital, she meets Dr. Jonathan Banks, a psychologist. With calm authority, Jonathan identifies the truth. This was no accident, but a suicide attempt. He urges Emily to remain for observation, but she insists she must go home to Martin, promising never to harm herself again. Convinced, reluctantly, Jonathan prescribes medication and arranges follow-ups. During therapy sessions, Emily begins to speak. She recalls meeting Martin in New York, where she had pursued graphic design, and how quickly their romance had led to marriage at age 23. Asked about previous therapy, she mentions Dr. Victoria Siebert in Greenwich and allows Jonathan to contact her. When Jonathan meets Victoria, she recalls Emily's wealthy upbringing and the depression that followed Martin's arrest. Victoria suggests that Jonathan might reach Emily more effectively than she ever did. She also recommends a new medication, Ablixa. Later, Emily and Martin attend a lavish yacht party. The excess and the crowd overwhelm Emily, and she retreats in tears. Martin comforts her, recognizing her fragility. Yet soon after, standing in a subway station, Emily's despair intensifies. She stares at a bright Ablixa advertisement, irony stinging her as she considers stepping onto the tracks. At the last moment, a guard pulls her back. Shaken, she rushes to Jonathan, who reassures her gently. She resists continuing the medication, citing dizziness and sleeplessness, but he suggests alternatives. Eventually, she begins Ablixa. At first, the results appear promising. Emily's spirits lift, Martin sees hope in her smiles, and their intimacy returns. But one night, Martin wakes to loud music. He discovers Emily dressed with breakfast inexplicably prepared. She is sleepwalking, a disturbing side effect. Concerned, Martin consults Jonathan. Emily, however, insists the drug is helping her, and Jonathan cautiously prescribes additional medications to curb her episodes. Soon after, Martin prepares for a business trip and tells Emily they may move to Houston. She appears disappointed, having expected a return to Greenwich. When Martin returns from his trip, he finds the apartment staged oddly, a gift on a chair, a table set for 3, and Emily calmly chopping vegetables. Without warning, she attacks him, stabbing repeatedly. Martin pleads for help before collapsing, but Emily merely walks away and goes to bed. Police soon arrive. Emily, dazed, denies memory of the murder, claiming she woke to find Martin dead. Jonathan, summoned to the station, learns of her arrest. The district attorney interrogates him, warning that if Emily's actions stemmed from medical treatment, blame may fall on him. Jonathan insists the matter is more complex. Emily is placed in a mental institution pending trial. In prison meetings, she repeats her lack of memory. Jonathan consults Victoria, who assures him therapists cannot be blamed for such outcomes. Meanwhile, Martin's grieving mother visits Emily, who blames everything on Ablixa and produces a letter condemning the drug. This letter, read publicly, devastates Jonathan's reputation. At trial, Emily's lawyer argues she was sleepwalking under the drug's influence. Jonathan testifies to her condition. The court deems her not guilty of murder, but confines her to psychiatric care. Jonathan's colleagues criticize him as his professional standing collapses. Determined to clear his name, he investigates Ablixa. He discovers Victoria had published warnings of side effects. Confronting her, Jonathan is met with deflection. Suspicion grows when he learns Emily's earlier crash was staged and that Julia, the supposed colleague recommending alternatives, does not exist. At the same time, rumors spread of Ablixa's downfall as a rival firm's stock rises. Jonathan devises a test. He tells Emily he will administer sodium amytal, a truth serum, but secretly inject saline. Emily quickly feigns sleep, proving deceit. Jonathan shows this to the district attorney, who dismisses the matter exhausted. Realizing Victoria is complicit, Jonathan confronts her. She threatens him with falsified photographs linking him to Emily. He pretends Emily already confessed, rattling Victoria. Back at the hospital, Jonathan manipulates Emily by suggesting Victoria is betraying her. Isolated and fearful, Emily begins to crack. Through flashback, her scheme is revealed. She and Victoria were lovers, plotting Martin's death to profit from stock manipulation. Emily had carefully staged her depression, her suicidal gestures, and her supposed dependence on Ablixa. Their plan relied on Jonathan's credibility to shield her from consequences. Eventually, Jonathan orchestrates a sting. In court, he declares Emily fit for release under supervision. Emily runs back to Victoria, unaware she is wired. Police intervene, arresting Victoria for conspiracy and fraud. Emily, stunned, realizes she has been trapped. Later, she visits Jonathan, expecting leniency. Instead, he prescribes strict monitoring, warning that any violation will return her to the asylum. Furious, she storms out but is quickly apprehended. The story closes with Jonathan reuniting peacefully with his family, while Emily, broken and defeated, is confined once more to the institution, her manipulations finally ending in the solitude she cannot escape. And movie concludes.